I want you to imagine that you are traveling by a submarine. Submarine is a watercraft that operates under the water and can travel long distances under the water. And you're on that submarine and you're traveling to reach your destination. Um, you're traveling from point A to point B. And everything is going nicely. It's a big submarine, there are a lot of people on it, and they have all different responsibilities, including yourself. And then what happens is you get the news from the engineers that the engine stopped working and your submarine is going to sink in 3 days. So that's the news. And they are doing everything they can to start these engines working again, because otherwise this submarine is gonna sink and everyone is gonna die, basically. So first, how would you feel? Many people would panic, they would run around, they would start to scream, they would say, what can I do? How can we solve the situation? How we can fix these engines? And it's a difficult situation. But then everyone tells you to calm down. Actually, we have 3 more days. It's a very long time. So, and we have many other problems on the submarine, like the people who are getting cold, people who are sick, people who have flu. So the doctors are trying to treat these diseases first. And also, if you didn't know, your best friend's birthday is tomorrow, so you should focus on that. You should not really focus about dying. You will die in 3 days, so why would you really care so much? Because you can't do much. The engineers are trying to solve the problem. You can't really help because you don't have knowledge how to fix the engines. And so you should focus on many different things. Listen to some good music, watch some good movies, and it's like, and stop bothering people. The doctors are taking care of all the other sick passengers on the submarine. They're trying to treat their flu, cold, cancer, any other diseases that they have. It's everything is still operating nicely, and you kind of settle in this situation. You kind of settle down and you start feeling calm, and you go back to your routine, what you did on the submarine, and you forget that your submarine is sinking, and then everyone is gonna die in 3 days. So that's a situation. This situation is our life, if you can see. Because from the moment we are born, we are dying. We are going to die at some point. Now, we have a lot of activities in our life. Most of them are related to eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It's a basic human needs. And we are doing everything to fulfill these needs. Right? So on the submarine, we do everything. And we work very hard every day. We socialize, we go to see our friends, our family members, we take care of our health. We go for a run, we see people on the beach, they're going for a run, going for a walk, looking after their health, keeping fit. So that is all very good, but the problem is the submarine is sinking. The problem is still there. And you have to fix the engines. And who are we trusting to fix the engines? We're trusting to solve the problem of death to the scientists, because they promise us that we will be able to extend the life of humans in the future. We'll be able to preserve, we'll be able to freeze the human brain, and once we solve this, once we come up with the solution how you can make this human body live forever, people can stay frozen, and then we can unfreeze them once we solve this problem. So many different things they try to do. And meanwhile, we engage in all other activities, and actually we do forget that we're gonna die at some point, right? So even on that ship, if someone gets coronavirus, what he will be thinking about? He'll be thinking about coronavirus, not spreading it to everyone, and staying in his section of the submarine, and I don't know, watching movies and doing different things. But the point is, the submarine is sinking and no one is doing nothing about it. And the engineers, the so-called engineers of the modern society, the scientists who try to solve the problems of life, which are mainly birth, death, old age, and disease. We don't want to die, we don't want to get sick, we don't want to get old. We are born by default, so they try to create babies from test tubes. They want to also control this factor. So while we're trusting these people, unfortunately these people the scientists admit that they don't have a solution. And it's a first priority, actually, to fix the engines of the submarine so you can achieve your final destination, so your trip can be successful. So, but what it looks like right now, the world, is we're doing everything in our life. We are working, we are looking out for our families, we're caring for our families, we are partying. And imagine this submarine is sinking and everyone is partying, instead of trying to bring this submarine back, the engines, turn them back on and try to fix them, and then go back to the above the water and go back to the final destination. So it's actually crazy when you think about this example. And that's our life. We're doing everything except trying to solve the real problem, which is death. And we are relying on the people who have no knowledge about it, who are trying to use experiments to establish how we can prolong the life, how we can make the life internal in this body. So I'm giving you this example because what happens is, once the third day comes and you're lying on your bed, you're listening to this nice music, you have spent 3 days in very good environment, everyone partied, everyone went to watch a movie and did a lot of other things. And comes the third day, and the submarine is reaching the bottom of the sea. It's gonna hit the sea, and it hits the sea, and actually because of the pressure, the water starts coming in. It breaks through the walls, and the water starts coming in, and then the sirens go off, and then it's a very very scary situation, and you realize the water is coming in and it's gonna kill everyone. So that's our last moment when we die. It's actually very terrifying. I have a friend who works as a nurse. He sees a lot of people die every day, and many of them scream when they die. So that's a very scary situation, right? So the last moment before you die. That's why we need a knowledge. We need people who can actually tell us about the birth, death, old age and disease, and how to overcome it. We need people who can instruct us on the spiritual knowledge, who can give us their understanding of the meaning of life, of the purpose of life. We need the real engineers, life engineers, who can fix our broken engines, who can fix our intelligence on something higher than our human needs, fix our intelligence on our self-interest. And our self-interest is not our human needs, because this body is temporary. It's gonna die regardless. Whatever you try to do, whatever the scientists try to do, it's not gonna work. They're not gonna extend the years, the life expectancy of this body for a really long time, because it's the material nature. Everything is born and everything is gonna die. It's very temporary. But what's inside the body, what is driving the body, the driver of the car is not the car. But so similarly, we have a soul within our body, which is giving the power to our body to operate, to work. And we need to ask ourselves, what is the soul? What is the source of the soul? What is the nature of the soul? How can we be actually happy? Because the things around us, they distract us a lot. We are putting the priority on things that are of relevantly high priority, but they're not number one priority. You can solve the problems of, cold, flu, coronavirus, other things, cancer, maybe sometimes, or people have mental problems, depressions. So this is all going on in Submarine while the submarine is sinking. But the main problem is you gotta solve is stop that submarine sinking. You gotta put it up back to the. You gotta turn on the engines and you gotta travel back to your destination. So that's the point. So don't be distracted. Yes, we understand. You probably spend a lot of hours watching the news, listening about coronavirus, but this situation is temporary. And you all know the safety precautions. You understand that you don't need to spread it around, you need to be careful, safety first, and all of that. So why keep watching the news about the coronavirus? Why do you keep wasting your very valuable human life trying to, hear about the problem which is very temporary? It will come and go, and you're aware of the consequences, you're aware of the safety issues, and you're taking care of yourself and your family, then that's good enough. Why to keep hearing about it? There's many more important things to hear about your life. So you have to start hearing about the purpose of life, the goal of life, trying to understand who you are, trying to understand the meaning of life. So that is more important. I really encourage you to divert your attention and energy in this direction. I will hopefully upload more videos if you're really interested to know what's the purpose of human life, what is the soul, and then we can speak on these topics, because this is more important. This is the actual solution to death, not a temporary solution. So please divert your attention to more important issues and don't panic and stay safe. Thank you.